Welcome back, all you Auburn recruiting and transfer portal junkies. We've got another player to talk about in the 2025 cycle. We're talking about an offensive guy, too, at the running back position. My name's Kyle here at the E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. So thank you so much for joining us in what we do today, and consider subscribing or following whatever platform you're on so you keep up to date with other content like this. What we have for you today is a video about the facts that you need to know, what it means about this particular commitment and signing that's been officially announced by Auburn football of running back Durell Robinson of UConn deciding that he wants to come in the transfer portal for 2025 to be a part of the 2025 season for Auburn football. It was an area that was definitely needing to be addressed with some space available. We'll talk about that coming up in the what it could mean for him and the rest of the team. But let's get to know him first. As I mentioned, running back coming from UConn, but previous to that, he actually started his college career at Charlotte. And going back to that time, he redshirted, so he comes in with reportedly 3 full years of eligibility, being listed on UConn's website as a redshirt freshman. What are his measurables? They are listed currently on the UConn website at 6'1", 210 pounds, which definitely puts him in a bigger back category. He definitely had a breakout year of sorts at UConn, getting him the attention of their, obviously, team, their opponents, but certainly the attention of the Auburn staff wanting to bring him into the fold here and him accepting that. So a bigger back for Auburn coming into here. Another interesting storyline out of this, let's talk about where he's from. Originally, out of high school, St. Francis Academy. Have you heard that before? Have we talked about the Maryland storyline before in the 2025 recruiting cycle? The answer is yes for 3 different signees, Darian Smith, Bryce Dees, and also Blake Woodby, also coming out of Maryland and that particular academy, which is it's pretty interesting to talk about. We joked about a pipeline of sorts coming out of there. I think it's pretty well established because Durell Robinson is also from that academy and from that state. So it's kind of a little interesting note there. I think we can now officially call it a pipeline if you'd like to. Last thing in the facts that you need to know about him, let's look at some of the stats. I always go to ESPN for that so we can make sure that we have maybe some, at least mostly everybody agrees these stats. So 2024 at UConn, 107 carries for him, 731 yards, 6.8 per carry for 8 touchdowns, a long of 63. He also got more involved in the passing game, 14 receptions, 75 yards, 5.4 per catch, and a long of 19. And if this is correct, there are no fumbles listed on the stats here at ESPN. So that's a pretty good amount of work that he got without getting any fumbles. If that is actually correct, that's pretty dang amazing. You can understand why he was a highly coveted running back in the transfer portal. So now let's talk about what it means for him, for Auburn, the class, transfer portal, all that kind of stuff. As it stands right now, and actually at the time of his commitment, we should say that, keep that always in mind when we're talking about what it means based on what we knew at the time of his commitment and currently know. He was the second transfer portal take for Auburn that they announced, and obviously there would be more coming that we'll do some videos about in the future, but the second at the time of his commitment, continued to build up that offensive side of the ball. Now, what does it mean in terms of playing time for him? Basically, let's talk about the depth chart as it currently stands and who at this time we know is still here. You've got Damari Alston, and you've also got Jeremiah Cobb, who are left over from last year's backfield. There were 2 spots available. Jarquez Hunter is going to be leaving, and we obviously know what has happened with Ryan Battie and that whole story with him not being able to go forward as an Auburn running back now. So that's 2 spots that need to be filled. One was done so by Alvin Henderson. So if you think about it, this last spot is being filled obviously by Durell Robinson. What does this mean in terms of the type of back he is? He's a bigger back, maybe not so much known for that breakaway speed type of thing, but a guy who can just bust through the line and then continue to rumble and tumble and then build up some momentum going forward. Frankly, with his eligibility and knowing that the type of back he is, I think he pairs really nicely with Alvin Henderson. Kind of comparing that to Damari Alston and Jeremiah Cobb. I think they pair very well together. Damari seeming to be a little bit more of a power back, Jeremiah a little bit more of a speed back. So you kind of got that lightning and thunder combo ×2 there. So I'm not saying that Durell won't run a lot this year or play a lot this year, but I'm almost wondering if we're setting up a next wave once we have Damari gone and once we have Jeremiah gone from this, because we all basically think that they're going to be the primary backs going forward from what we currently know right now. So does this mean that we're done in the running back transfer portal space? Coach usually likes to have around 4 scholarship backs, primary scholarship backs that they utilize every single year. This effectively fills that. So I think we can look at this and say, probably done. But as our good friend Trevon Reed used to tell us, we may not be done yet. Never can tell. Let me know if there's anything that we missed that you think we should know about Durell Robinson and your thoughts about this latest transfer pickup. And thanks for hanging out with us today here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. War Eagle.